In this video, I'm going to expose one of the biggest mistakes that I see time and time again when it comes to music creators. I'm talking producers, I'm talking beat makers, rappers, singer-songwriters, musicians, even audio engineers when it comes to their brand development and their marketing strategy. And this is a mistake that music creators make time and time again. All too often, I see people ruining their music careers before they even get started by making a simple misstep that I don't take too lightly. Now, this video might offend you, so if you have thin skin, if you don't like to be told about yourself, if you don't like criticism or feedback, click on something else because this is not the video for you. So let's get to it. What's going on, guys? Adam Ivy, AdamIvy.com. As always, I appreciate you joining me yet again for another video. So as I've mentioned a time or two in other videos, I receive a ton of DMs on Instagram, on Facebook, on email, directly through my website at AdamIvy.com. And side note, if you want to connect with me, which I hope you do, and I'd love to connect with you, especially over on Instagram, I'll put that information up on the screen now. Side note, all my contact information will be down in the description box below, but that's not why you're here. You're here to figure out what you're doing wrong. You're here to figure out what you need to avoid to build your marketing strategy, your content strategy, to build that brand, to build that business around your music, around what you love to do, around your purpose. Now, as I mentioned a little earlier, I travel all the time, and this weekend was no exception. In fact, I've been out for about 24 hours now, so if I have a little bit larger bags under my eyes than usual, I apologize. But this is something that hit me. It hit me hard. You ever have a moment where you're just like, it's like a light bulb went off? I was sitting in the airport. I was sitting in the Atlanta airport waiting for my connection flight up to Milwaukee. And as I sat, I'm a people watcher, right? If you're a people watcher, I want to hear about it in the comments below. It's one of my favorite pastimes, especially when I'm at the airport. I'm not glued to my phone. And I was sitting kind of close to the aisle, the main aisle in the terminal where everybody could go to their gate. And I noticed two different types of people. Now, I know that's incredibly vague, but just stick with me. I'm going to paint you a better picture here. Follow me on a journey that I know each and every one of you guys has experienced before in your life. Whether you're at a college or a high school or an airport or a mall or a grocery store or an art festival or something like that, we've all experienced bumping into people, having to weave around people that aren't paying attention to where they're going. They're completely lost, whether it's them glued to their phone, they're kind of just going through the motions, whether they're looking around like this with their head on a swivel, whether it's just somebody spaced out, whether they're on a substance or not. We've all bumped into these people. And a lot of us, I can admit, I've been on the other side. I've been looking down at my phone, not paying attention to where I'm going. And that's something that on the other side of the coin, we see the opposite of. In the same situation, whether it be ourselves or other people, we can tell that people are walking with purpose. They have somewhere to go. They're in a rush. They're weaving in and out. You know, like I mentioned a second ago, we've been these people. Every single day, I receive DMs and emails from incredibly talented music creators from around the world. And I'm not talking 2-sentence emails or DMs. I'm talking about incredibly articulate emails, vulnerable emails, desperate emails in some instances. And they're all asking for help or guidance or just an ear to listen to their story. Some of these emails are literally pages. They're paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs telling the whole life story. And some of you guys are incredibly great storytellers. And I usually say, hey, get on YouTube, because YouTube's all about telling a good story, what I'm kind of doing right now. But all too often, I see these incredibly ambitious creators with no purpose. They give me their entire life story, and it's just like an eye chart at the optometrist. The top line, it's so crystal clear that they lack purpose. Now, this is something that I lacked when I first got started. All I was about was the money. I want to sell beats. Where's the money? Got to put more beats up. Where's the money? What was my purpose? I've found incredible amounts of purpose doing these videos for you guys. There's people that walk through life intentionally. And there's people that float through life waiting for things to happen to them. You can either be the hammer or the nail in life. Which one are you going to be? When it comes to purpose, you have to understand a few things. Purpose is, why are you doing what you're doing? What impact does it make on your life and the life of others? What feeling do you get from what you're doing? And I'm not talking about just making music. I'm talking about overall scope. Music's just part of the salad. It's not the tomatoes and the cheese and the bacon. That's just, I like hefty salads, a lot of food bulk. Getting off subject like I usually do. Do you walk with purpose? Can you look yourself in the mirror every single morning and say, I have a purpose and this is what my purpose is? So that should be step number one. If you're finding yourself lost, if you're finding yourself frustrated, if your marketing's not working, if your business is not growing, ask yourself if you have purpose. Are you walking with purpose? Because I promise you, a lot of you guys are not. You're posting a ton of stuff up on Instagram, you're posting videos, but you have no strategy. You have no reason why you're doing it. You're throwing things against the wall, waiting for something to stick. But that's not how you build. That's not how you build a house. If you put all the materials for a house on the foundation, you just threw them there, you'd have a big pile of shit. Guess what? A lot of your lives are a big pile of shit right now. We need to construct them into something that's going to be sustainable for your life. Something that's going to you're going to be able to build up and look, stand back from the road and be proud of. It's something that so many of us we go through phases, right? We go through seasons. I call them seasons, where we are incredibly focused, we're incredibly driven. Then maybe we hit a seasonal depression. Maybe those gray winter days, they wear on us and you want to sleep in a little bit longer. Maybe you want to eat a little bit more. And then slowly but surely, you're not spending time in front of the computer, you're spending time in front of the TV. You're spending time hanging out with buddies. Maybe you're smoking weed, playing video games. What I'm getting at is you have to have a purpose. You have to have a reason for living. But when it comes to music, you have to have a reason for why you're doing the music. Do you just love the music? Do you just love creating and you just want to share in a very community type of way? In a networking type of way? You don't really want to do it for a business. You just want to do it for the love of it. Nothing wrong with that. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you have to turn something that you love doing into a business. That's step number one, rule number one, when it comes to choosing what you want to do for a living. I had to make a decision. We all have to make a decision when you have that crossroads of, you know what, I think I'm going to monetize this. You know what, I think I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to really pursue this as a career, not just dabble in it as a hobby. I promise you, I'm going to be making music for the rest of my life. Am I going to be 65 producing major tracks for artists and stuff? I damn sure hope I am, but at the end of the day, as long as I'm creating at that point, I'm going to have everything all set up. My future's bright when it comes to all the financial stuff, which I could talk about in a different video if you guys want to hear about investing and trying to get your shit together when it comes to the money side of things. But a lot of us fail to ever find a purpose. And it's something that if you're not conscious of, if you're not conscientious of, it might never happen. Because let's face it, a lot of our parents have never chased a dream. They weren't allowed to. A lot of our mentors are where they're at because they've been doing it for 20, 30 years. So what happens if we've only been making music for a year and a half, maybe 2 years? We don't have that life experience yet. We don't have the time under our belt. I make these videos because I've been doing this for over 12 years, and I'm trying to speed up the process for you guys because I made a ton of mistakes. I spent a lot of money on shit that I didn't need to spend. I wasted a lot of money on marketing techniques and strategies that did not work and actually held me back, or actually, worked in a reverse effect and kind of messed me up for a little while. So that's why I'm making these videos, so you guys can try to avoid this. Walking with purpose is incredibly important. It's I would go to say it's like a top 3 most important thing when it comes to chasing your dreams and pursuing something that the rest of the world tells you cannot do. If the rest of the world tells you that what you're trying to do is obtainable, you're not dreaming big enough. If your goal is to become a manager at a AT&T store, nothing wrong with that at all. But if everybody in your world is telling you, oh, that's obtainable, you'll get there, just a few more years, slow and steady wins the race. I don't know about you, but I'm not about the slow and steady race. Big risk, big reward. Got to put it all out on the line. I only live once. I'd rather live with a bunch of different stories about how I failed and how I shifted and adjusted and evolved as not only a man, but a music creator and a businessman and eventually a husband and eventually a father. That's the type of stories I want to share. You can't have a book this thick written about you when you die, when you haven't done shit. Don't live a 5-page life. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, which I hope you have, I have an exercise for you that I genuinely want you all to do. Trust me, this is going to have a huge impact in your life. This is going to have a huge impact moving forward when it comes to developing a music career, when it comes to increasing income, when it comes to increasing brand awareness. For the next 2 days, not a week or anything, just 2 days, walk with purpose. I'm talking literally walk with purpose. What do I mean by that? So if you go get the mail, if you go from your car to your day job, if you go from the gym to the water fountain, and I mean in the gym, you do a set to the water fountain, walk with purpose. Now, I'm not saying that you can't talk to people. I'm not saying you can't look around, but be conscious of the steps you're taking. The steps is very literal when it comes to walking in a direction, right? When it comes to chasing our dreams, when it comes to building something that nobody thinks that we can do, we have to believe in ourselves and we have to have a vision. That's what it all ties back to. Walking with purpose means that you can see your vision as if it's real today. So why only 2 days and not every day? Well, A, I don't want to overwhelm you guys by trying to tell you to do it for a week. And B, I feel like after a couple days, you'll get the hang of it. You'll have that mind-muscle connection, that muscle memory per se, to where it's going to impact your life. And the more you do it, the less you have to think about it. You're going to be conscious without trying, if that makes sense. And then you could take what you're doing literally and apply this to your goals, to your vision, to your dreams. And it's going to make a big difference. Do things with purpose, whether it's trying to build your Instagram account, build your YouTube account, make more music, be more productive in front of your computer, learn how to play the piano, learn how to play the guitar, get better at vocal recording, get better at singing itself, get better at writing. It doesn't matter. The list goes on. You get the point. When you do things with purpose, when you do things strategically, not only are you more productive, you get more done, which is more productive, but you do it in a system that is done for a reason. If I just want to build a huge music brand, where do I start? What do I do? This is all things that tie back into purpose. Who do I want to be? What music do I want to share with the world? Who do I want to share it with? Who are my people? These are all questions that you have to answer. In fact, I invite you guys to rewind a little bit and write these down. And if you don't have an answer, work on that. It's like a mission statement. Every single major company, every Fortune 500 company has a mission statement. You know what a mission statement is? It represents what the company's values are. It represents what the company is doing in business. You should have some type of purpose statement on what you're doing as a musician, what you're doing as a creative, a music creative. Now, if you're still with me and have made it this far in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, I want to hear from you, seriously. So in the comments below, I want to know if you found your purpose. I want to know when you found your purpose. If you're willing to share what your purpose is with us, I'd love to hear about that in the comments below. If you're willing to be vulnerable and maybe this video opened your eyes to the fact that, you know what, maybe you're a little bit unsure of what your purpose is. Maybe you realize that you're a bit of a floater, a bit more of a floater than you kind of realized before. I want to hear about that too, and trust me, a lot of us will. We're here to support each other. Hater comments and really kind of crude comments get deleted and blocked. This is a safe harbor for my creator friends and my creator family, my channel family here. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. One last piece of advice. Always try to be conscientious of who you are today, where you are today, what you feel today. Be present within that. That's going to allow you to grow. That's going to allow you to build into who you want to be tomorrow. But without understanding that, without embracing that, without understanding that it's okay not to be perfect, you're never going to be able to be who you want to be. Because the person that you want to be has those values. That's the sign of a well-rounded individual. Now, if you found any value in this video whatsoever, which I genuinely hope you have, all that I ask for is that you smash the thumbs up button, smash that like button. And if you haven't yet, I invite you guys to subscribe to the channel by clicking that little button over here. And if you haven't yet, click that little bell to become a BFF, become part of the channel family here to be notified first anytime I upload a video like this. Oh, and one more thing, if you want to connect with me, which I'd love, all my contact information is in the description box below, including a long list of camera gear that I use to make these videos in case you want to start a YouTube channel of your own. Maybe you want to upgrade, maybe you're just curious about what I use to make my videos. All that will be in the description box below. I'd love to connect with you guys. And until next time, guys, you can find me at adamivy.com.